my god, ah! What is going on, beautiful people? It is Tim here, and thank you for joining me in another video. As some of you may know, I've been vegan for a while now. It's actually September of 2012 when I first decided to go vegan, and it is one of the best decisions I've ever made as an adult, for sure, and that is over 5 years ago. So I just thought I'd make a quick video and get on the camera here for you guys and give you 5 things that I've learned in over 5 years of being vegan that I find important to me. Now, perhaps you've been vegan for over 5 years as well, or you've just recently gone vegan, or you're thinking of going vegan and want to get some clues into what this lifestyle entails. Hopefully you can get some ideas from this video about what to expect. Number 5, be gentle with yourself and with others around you. Whether you're going vegan or gone vegan for the environment, for your health, or for animal welfare, eventually you start to see the benefits of all three, even if it's just one reason that you went in the first place. And as you do so, this can be quite a trauma to see the world through these new eyes that you'll get and this new awareness. And this can affect every single relationship in your life, from parents, siblings, relatives, friends, co-workers. It will change everything, and it can be quite dramatic in many of those areas. And so it's important to be really gentle with yourself, but also with others, and try to be really understanding that you once would never have understood veganism the way you do now, and can see the importance of it as a decision and how much it's benefited your life. And they might not carry the same excitement that you carry into this lifestyle, and that can be quite frustrating. And so it's important to be really patient with yourself and with them. There's a good book by Melanie called Beyond Beliefs, and it really helps you come to terms with intelligent ways to communicate this with vegans, vegetarians and meat eaters, people that are around you that aren't quite there yet. If you're interested and you want to learn more, check out Melanie Joy's book. She's a really wise soul. Number 4, veganism won't solve everything. Now, when you first become vegan and you feel the positive effects of that lifestyle, and you realize the much less damage you're doing to the planet with those choices, there will be a honeymoon period where you feel super over the moon, elevated, high energy, and you will feel better overall. But this honeymoon period will fade, and you will go back to feeling normal life again. You'll feel better and more elevated than before, but in context to where you felt at the transition period when you became vegan, your willpower was firing, you were making a conscious choice. It was an amazing new feeling to you. This will fade. So as much as when we first become vegan, that first year, you feel, like I say, so elevated, and you want to promote it to everyone and tell everyone about it, and you feel on top of the world, it's not solving everything in your life. There is still more to do. There's still more work to be done, which brings me on to my next point. Number 3, the vegan diet is not the healthiest diet, but it is within veganism that the healthiest diet is found. Now, a vegan diet can cover a massive spectrum of things, as we know, and there's so many. In the last year, the amount of vegan options, alternatives, substitutes at every supermarket, every corner shop you can get now, all the milks, meats, cheeses, donuts, cakes, ice cream versions that are readily available to us now. This stuff is highly processed and very nutritionally imbalanced, with a lot of refined sugars and oils and fats. In the short term, it is a lot healthier to be having like a plant-based ice cream rather than a dairy ice cream. You can eat peanut butter and jam sandwiches and falafel wraps and with hummus all day, and it will do you better than having cheeseburgers and normal cheese and pepperoni pizza. But in the long run, if you're really on a path to true health, you will have to cut ties with this, at least for the majority of your meals that you are eating. As much as possible, you want to be headed towards a whole foods, plant-based diet, low fat as well. One of the best diets I've found that is within veganism, that it works well for me, is a guy called Arnold Ehret, and he wrote a book called The Mucusless Diet, as well as Dr. Sebi. People might know him as well, and he's all about electric foods, which is about high raw, very living foods, green salads, lots of fruits eaten in mono meals. Also, there's the 8-10-10 diet by Dr. Douglas Graham. Essentially, a lot of the processed and high fatty foods that we consume are acid forming in the body, and for the body to protect itself from acid, it forms mucus, which can get backed up in our system, in our gut, in our lymphatic system, forming mucoplaque and all that sort of nasty stuff. So that is that, the mucusless diet, aiming for low mucus. If you're eating foods and you feel your nose block up, and then you're not being able to breathe properly through our nose, which is where we should be breathing through, not through our mouth, then you're doing your body harm in the long run. Aim for mucusless forming foods that don't form mucus in the body. If you get into veganism and you realize hang on a minute, I'm not feeling as good as I thought veganism was a solve all, it's going to heal all my health problems, and you're not quite there, this is something for you to look into. Which leads me nicely onto my next point. Number 2, there's more healing to do. Physically, there's a lot of healing to do from the pollution, from the pesticides, from the plasticides, the GMOs, the chemicals in our water, the chemicals in our clothes, psychologically, from all the movies we've watched, the horror movies, the dramas, the made-up stories, from the Santa Claus, to the wars that are going on, to seeing that people are killing animals so casually, and that's emotional as well. There's a lot of healing to do. Veganism is a real step in the right direction and a rung on the ladder, but it's not, as I said previously, it's not the heal-all. There is more to do. Your journey has not ended with veganism. That was the food that you're putting in your mouth, which is a real big gateway to getting toxins in the body and to stopping toxins entering the body when you start to analytically be in charge of that. But how many other things, like I said, with the water in the air, the news that we're listening to, the commercials, the newspapers we're reading, the chemicals in our clothes when we're not buying organic clothes, there's a lot of chemicals from the pesticides. There's a lot going on in our lives, from the traumas from our childhood, so I won't go into too much of it, but we all are on a path of healing, whether we acknowledge it or not. But I think once you get into veganism, after a few years, you realise, you know what, there's more healing to do. And for me, I made healing a hobby, and therefore you can start to identify the things, you can have fun with it, and you can start to research stuff, and every time you grow, you're growing this avatar. It can be a traumatic path, but at the same time, you're just making light the dark corners of your mind and of your body that need love and attention and healing, so that you can feel better and more at peace in this world. If you want to take that journey further, you can look into juice fasting, or even further than that, the most universal and quickest heal all for the whole body, spiritually, physically, emotionally, is fasting. Something I've just started to get into recently. What it seems to feel like is what eating seems to do for the physical body, fasting does for the spiritual body. And that is just an elevated way to heal all. The Science and Fine Arts of Fasting here from Herbert Shelton. Or you can look into juice fasting and herbal remedies. Someone like Dr. Morse on YouTube is very useful for that kind of information on what herbs to heal, what organs in your body. And then you've got Loren Lockman, who talks a lot about water fasting. His stuff is very insightful on that. So if you want to look into more of that, I'll put links below to those people and you can check them out. Number 1, keep growing. Going vegan is a noble choice, and it's one that we want all around us to feel as well. But remember, what got us vegan in the first place was self-reflection, and it's important to continue that self-reflection. The next spiritual challenge is around the corner, and once veganism becomes set as an everyday normal for us, that new challenge will arise. It's important to stay focused on ourselves and progressing personally, rather than trying to change everyone around us. We can get carried away climbing up one step and turning around and trying to preach to the world, when we should keep our head down and carry on growing ourselves and just let the light shine. As JC said, remove the log from your own eye before you remove the sty from someone else's. Oh my God! And while veganism may make that log smaller, it doesn't take it away completely. Oh, that's better. A couple books on spiritual growth. Man's Higher Consciousness by Hilton Otema, and personal favourite of mine, The Essene Gospel of Peace. Incredible book. I'll leave links to all these books down below. Now, we've all got struggles, and we've all got paths we're trying to heal from, and we're all just trying to feel loved. And if we can each individually focus on our own paths and growing ourselves spiritually, listen to the universal signs and the Jiminy Cricket in our head, then we'll all get there together. Thank you all so much for watching. Now, if there's things that you've learned from veganism that I've not mentioned, leave them in the comments below and I'll check them out. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel. And if you're not already subscribed and you like this kind of content, subscribe or hit the notification button so you get live updates when I do upload a new video. Also, if you want to start healing your body and wearing better, more intelligent clothing, ethics.com, ethics without the I. We've got spring collection, organic cotton. We've also got the Treadlight shoes, which is a minimal shoe, 0 drop, wide toe box, intelligently, minimalistically designed for your foot, because it doesn't need much, it knows what it's doing. So ethics.com for that. We got organic cotton sweatpants, hoodies, t-shirts, all that kind of good stuff. Also, I'm going to be at a few festivals throughout the summer. I'll leave a link below to that so you can check out if I'm in your area around the UK. Come say hi, come see what's up. We got Rawgus coming. If you want to heal your body further, Rawgus, I'll leave a link, sign up to that below. And you can join us in August as we all go raw. Of course, you can do it sooner, you can do it on your own, but if you want to be notified around the time for that, if you're feeling ready or in the summer, you can come join us for that. Wishing you balance in your endeavours, and as always, protein is still a myth. Protein situ. Tans are a myth as well, apparently. Come on, summer. Ta-ra.